What's up, everybody? It's your boy Phil Shark and the Nice Jojo here with our season recap of the LCD. I'm actually going to be recording this video straight after I did my LCD team builder. Because obviously I can incorporate kills and stuff like that, but the kills aren't going to probably do too much and stuff like that. And honestly, I just want to get the LCD's recordings completely done here and now. Not because the season was annoying or anything like that, but just to make sure all the recordings are done and ready to go for that. And I can move on. But yeah, this was our season. We either finished the season 2-5. No, yeah, wait, 2-6. Yeah, either 2-6 or 3-5, or we finished the season. No, it's nine. It's 9 weeks. I'm getting so confused right now. So we either we either finished the season 2-6, or finished 2-7, or we finished 3-6. One or the other. We regardless had a rough season, and I don't think we had necessarily a really bad team. I think we had a really good team this season. I think what really came down to it is I think I drafted Mons that didn't have a lot of versatility in terms of abilities they could have ran with. Like I had some creative ones and stuff like that. And again, this was my first ever time doing this type of format, so I really wasn't exactly like formal with it and everything like that. So I think for our first attempt at this, at least winning at least 2 games, even though one was be a forfeit, or if we won our 2 games from we had 1 game as a forfeit and 2 games that were a win and stuff like that. So like if anything, we at least walked out with really good knowledge and experience. We really realized what abilities were during the matchups, so that was really important. There, really cool there. So I think overall, we really walked away with really good knowledge, and we really walked away with at least some experience into knowing this, especially if we want to come back for next season. Which I may or may not, depending on what time we release next season, and also when how my leagues are going at the time of it going down. But overall, I had a lot of fun this season. I got to try some mons I haven't tried before. I got to try some old mons I haven't tried before, and I got to try some mons I've never really drafted, but always picked up in like free agency and stuff like that. So let's go over the team. Let's start off with the mons that sadly did do the week. I think one of the main things as well for the season is I didn't really try to use transactions and look at what possibilities I could have saw. I think that was one of the biggest mistakes I made was not definitely making a look at potentially transaction stuff. But first off, we have to give it up to the Miam that didn't even come to a single game, and that was Galar Stunfisk. And I literally only drafted Stunfisk for ground typing. Didn't even use that thing, and everyone just still brought electric types versus me. So overall, Stunfisk, I wanted to bring him against Stirring last week, which I probably should have because I actually would have probably helped me and would have actually dealt with a lot of things on his team. I couldn't bring it this last for my last week just because the matchup wasn't really good for it. But overall, um, Stunfisk, it's a Stunfisk. Like I feel like in this format, it's not terrible, but I feel like I could have utilized him a little bit better. Bulu tried. He really tried. I mean, we don't know how his work has been. I don't know as of right now how much work, if work anything, he did in the last week's matchup, in the last week's game, that we have. But Bulu, I feel like there's a lot of potential for Bulu in this type of format. I think there is definitely some versatility you can go with this thing. I definitely think I should have ran it a little bit more different. Maybe like something like a Dauntless Shield. Maybe something like a Spadef with something like, something like that, like or something like with like maybe with um some decent versatility because I mostly ran speed boost on this thing. I maybe should have ran some others, or maybe I should have just looked at something completely different as well. But Blue, in regular format, he's not all that great. He's decent, but he's not fantastic. And I think in this format, again, he's not the worst thing out there. But I think there could be some good. Like I think there's some also other ideas you can run Bulu with. Obviously, I didn't figure out the creativity for Bulu, so that's on me. But regardless, I think this is definitely gonna be one of those times where we see a mon that's going to try its best and just go from there. So, Galar Slowking honestly was probably the disappointment of the team. It kept just dying and not doing anything. I messed up in the week 1. I should have saved that thing. I don't know why I didn't save it. I should have saved it. If I had saved it, I actually would have probably won my week 1 game because the Weavile would have been dead. I don't know. I don't know. I think this this after or before I sacked Weavile. I think it was before. It was after I think it was before I sacked Weavile that I show went right into Weavile. So I definitely threw game 1. I could have easily had won game 1 at least. Well, if I had lost, at least would have lost either 1 or 2-0. So regardless, but Slowking weakest link. I think there was definitely some possibilities to run Glowking a little bit better. This was my second time using Glowking after the first time we used him in APA when we won a championship with this thing. I think in this format he's not terrible, he's not bad, but I just think overall he's just not the greatest in terms of being a mon in the format. So who knows? People can definitely use him probably better than I can. So, but he was very fun this season. It was very nice to try Glowking again after using him. It's just too bad we couldn't make Belly Drum work last week. Stereo and to ruin our fun. Gyarados. Now, Gyarados was something I really, really wish I could have really picked up on and really could have figured out some cool ideas to with Gyarados. But again, just not knowing the format all that much, I don't know how much Gyarados runs. Like I wanted to run Aerial. I was using Aerially 1 week. I had Volt Absorb on 1 week. I was gonna run Guts on one. I ran Guts, I think, potentially on 1 week. Like I had so many good ideas. I think Gyarados in this type of format is actually really, really good. It is kind of hindered to kind of run one type of ability that kind of needs to benefit off of it. But overall, I think there's a lot of versatility with Gyarados, and I think there can be some cool things with Gyarados. But overall, though, Gyarados was a fun mon. Even though we didn't get any kills, it definitely put in work getting some offense off in the right matchups that it did. So just overall, I actually kind of did enjoy Gyarados. It was definitely fun. It was very different, and I wanted, if I ever come back, I definitely want to give Gyarados another try because I think there's more experiment for Gyarados to go. Especially since this is my first ever time drafting Gyarados in a draft league. It's not BDSP or anything else, so really excited for that. Now let's get on to the 6 that did the most. We'll start with our weakest link, which surprisingly enough was our first pick. And honestly, looking at some people's comments back in the post game stuff, there were some sets that I probably should have ran that definitely would have made a lot more sense. I should have used Dragapult a lot more often than I could for creativity, yet I just never found the ways to make it good. So if I ever get a chance to use Dragapult again in this type of format, I am definitely going to be looking to getting help on how to be creative with Dragapult and definitely going with my gut on some sets that I think would work. So if I was speed boost on this thing, it would have worked against Styrian's Lele. But anyways, this time it was over. Dragapult though, I want to try it again in the regular format. In this type of format, I would love to give it another shot as well because I think there is something here with Dragapult. There's a reason why it's in the 19-point category as a number 1 round 1 pick. It is so good, but I need to try to figure out what makes it so good besides, a few simple things out there. So I'm really hoping that if I do get a chance to use this thing in the future, I'm definitely going to use it and hopefully have some fun with it. Scizor. First time using drafting Scizor, which is actually in a league that's anything goes. I definitely think Scizor is good in this format. He's not the best, and he's kind of limited on what he kind of can or cannot do. I overall though had fun with Scizor. For not being able to use it as many games as I did, I had fun with it. It was not terrible. It wasn't the worst. This definitely is a mod though I really want to try in the regular format, just because it's really really fun and I think it's a lot cool by diversity and a lot of cool utility options and stuff. So I think in the future definitely want to give Scizor a go in the regular format, but in a AAA anything goes format definitely would like to give Scizor another go around. I think it's definitely not a terrible Pokemon to use, so really excited for Scizor. And I was actually happy to finally try it. It was actually not that bad of a Pokemon. I actually had a lot of fun with it, and it was very unique and very different. Now, Mega Houndoom just barely will push fast past it, just barely, not by like a much. I think Mega Houndoom was fun. In the first week we brought Houndoom, which wasn't week 1, but it was like I think week 3 or week 4 or something like no, or week 2 I think it was that. It was either week 2 or week 3 we brought it, and we showed how good Houndoom really could be, and also we showed how well we could play Houndoom. So I really think that overall Houndoom was a lot of fun. It was very different. Mon that I think a lot of people were not expecting to be good, but we proved it could be good. and we definitely showed it's definitely a Pokemon that you cannot sleep on. It is definitely a good Pokemon, to say the least, and it's really great. I think I had a lot of fun with this. So overall, I think it's just really nice, and it's just a great Pokemon, man. I think I want to try it in that next format again. You're not using it for so long, but overall, Houndoom was great. We didn't get to use it all that much, but in the games that came, we definitely put in the work that it could do. So, really happy with it. So overall, decent mod. And now we go to the three mods that definitely put most likely the most work on the team. And we're gonna start off with Tauros. Tauros slightly underneath, could have gone more. Who knows about the games? But Tauros was a great mod. I think we used Tauros decently well. There were some sets that I think a lot of people gave me some ideas for, like Unburden, Tauros for week 2, which unfortunately ran into went unaware Mew, which I didn't even realize. So that was sad. But Tauros was really fun. Tinted Lens Tauros killing a Celesteela was pretty hype. Overall, though, Tauros was a lot of fun. I think Tauros is definitely different. I think in a regular format, Tauros is not like the world's greatest normal type out there and all that stuff, but it's a fun normal type. And overall, I think Tauros is also a really amazing Pokemon. I think overall, I had a lot of fun with it. It was very different. I think it was a bit of a wild pick that some people saw, but I love this bond. It was really fun, and I would love to give them a shot in this type of format. Conkeldurr follows suit. Conkeldurr had some rough weeks, but it wasn't like it was terrible though. It was definitely fun. I definitely loved using Tough Claws Conkeldurr. It just smacked things hard. I wish I could have brought Triage maybe a couple bit times more if I could have, but overall though, Conkeldurr was a lot of fun. Conkeldurr was very different, and my first time actually drafting this Pokemon, besides picking it up a few times that I did in leagues I did, it was just a great Pokemon. It's very different. It's very fun. But it's very good, and I think there's a lot of customability you can do with this Pokemon with terms of giving it any abilities. So definitely in the future, if I come back, I definitely want to give this thing another go around because I think it was a lot of fun, and it's a very interesting Pokemon. I really think it's very diverse enough to be its own. But we're gonna get on to the man that was the MVP of the season for us, and hopefully by the time this goes up, he's still in the top 10 of the regular season's kill leaders. Regieleki, I think, proved why it was not supposed to be, I think, at what, like 13, 14 points. This definitely think it proved why it was a 15 to 16 point Pokemon. This thing, when you give it a refrigerate, can just do the work that it can do. This mon is very offensively good. This mon definitely pressured a lot of teams and made people even scared of Regieleki, believe it or not. I honestly love Regieleki. It's definitely a really good Pokemon. I think in this type of format is where it can definitely shine. It's a lot more fun to use. It's a lot more actual interesting to use and or do. But in terms of anything else, it's just not the best Pokemon. Like it can be good in the regular format if you use it right in the right matchups and stuff. But I think overall, this is a Pokemon that is realistically only great in a format setting like this, where it can really shine and really diverse itself and actually be a threat in the format. So the fact that we were able to show off Regieleki really well in this season just makes me really happy that I can use at least one Pokemon effectively well. So thank you all so much for watching this video, though. We had a really fun season. Thank you to Steering for letting us come in, and thank you for the opportunity to play in a format that I have no idea how to do, but I think did decent enough in the format. So thank you so much for that again. But yeah, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know if you guys would like to come back to the LCD and try to go for a championship, or at least try to make the playoffs in the league. Let me know on that. Let your thoughts down there below. And also let us know who was your favorite mom this season, regardless of kill, whether they were kills, they were broad, and all that stuff. Let us know who you thought would definitely put in the most work for the team. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to put the ending of this chapter of LCD behind us, and we're going to move on with the future with all the other leagues that we have. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.